Are they real?
Chúng có thực ạ. Yes, they are real.
When you say they are real, are they now? This is the beginning, the very beginning, to begin to understand the truth, the ultimate truth of that which no one understood before hearing the teachings, the word of the enlightenment. Not just lobha, dosa, moha. No understanding. What are they? What are they?
Thầy cho con hỏi là theo con thì tham sân si nó cũng đều được gọi là một pháp, đúng không ạ? Đúng không chị?
So may I ask you a question? Lobha, doha, and moha are also Dhamma, right?
It's you, right? Or lobha, or you. Dosa is dosa, or you, or someone. Or what is it? If it's not anyone. That's why it's not the other's understanding, not the Buddha's understanding, great virtues, but it's your own understanding, to understand what he taught about each moment that is so real right now. Is seeing real?
Thế thấy có thực ạ.
Yes, seeing is real.
What did Buddha say about seeing?
Đức Phật thì theo con hỏi, con hiểu thì mình phải có cái ý, thì mình mới nhìn thấy, nhận thấy những cái hiện tại ngay bây giờ. Lưu ý ạ, mình phải có lưu ý ạ.
We have to have the mind processes.
I think that often we try to remember the details we have read about from the book, or the details that our friend has told us, and we forget about now. We forget about understanding the reality we're talking about now. For example, we can say, oh, lobha, dosa, and moha are all akusala, and there are kusala, vipaka, kiriya, citas. But does it help to understand lobha now, attachment now? Because as we discussed, there is seeing right now. It's not something in the book, or a detail to be memorized, or a word to be remembered. It's life at this moment, seeing. And so quickly after seeing, even now, lobha is there, or dosa, confusion, is there, or just ignorance, not understanding anything. So it's this life at this moment, not my lobha or my dosa that arise in a process and I should eliminate it. That will not bring us closer to understanding life now, seeing now, attachment now. When Ajahn walks into the room, the seeing is the instant attachment. It's there. In a discussion, seeing now, clinging so quickly. So it's daily life, no matter in the discussion or anywhere else. But if we just think, oh, it arises in a process and there are other citas that follow and we learn the Pali names, is there any understanding? So the Buddha's teaching and the way to know the Buddha is to understand what life is right now. Different dhammas, different realities arising and falling away by conditions. No one there, no thing there. So at this moment of seeing, it's not a process, it's not a Pali term, it's just this moment of experiencing, citta as you say, which sees what is visible and gone, followed by another citta. Not mind trying to find out anything or determine anything or do anything. So very different from our idea of mind as we think about it.
So getting back to the original question, the reality of now, as we know, is different dhammas. We appreciate at a theoretical level that the reality now is not a room with people in it and having a Dhamma discussion. That is the way it appears to us, but from our study of the Dhamma, we understand that it appears that way because of different realities that are experiencing and that are being experienced. And it is those realities that were the subject of the Buddha's teaching, mostly. You mentioned about getting to know the Buddha, and Ajahn explained that it is by getting to consider what he taught, his words, that we get to know the Buddha. And if we think about it, that was also the position at the time when the Buddha was alive. The people who came to see the Buddha didn't come to receive a blessing from him. They didn't come to take the precepts from him. They didn't come to look at him and wonder at how marvelous he looked or how good his conduct was. They came to hear his teaching, his words, his explanation of what is life at the present moment. And so we are also in the position of, the fortunate position of being able to hear his teaching in the sense that the record of it is still available. And we have the good fortune to have it explained to us by Ajahn in the way it was understood at the time. And as recorded in the commentaries that arose starting from the Buddha's time. And so your question was, as a beginner, how does one go about coming to understand the teaching? Well, it's the same answer for everyone, whether they are beginner or not. There has to be the hearing and considering of the words of the Buddha, regardless of how much understanding there is, regardless of how many realities we think can be understood, because those things will happen if the right conditions are there, including the hearing and considering of the Buddha's words, his explanation of the present moment, how it is different realities, all of which are conditioned and are not subject to control by us or anyone. And there's never any magical answer, even for those in the time of the Buddha, as to how to have more understanding. It is always dependent on the same factors that apply to us now. Past accumulation, interest in hearing more, appreciating the significance and the subtlety of the Buddha's teaching, considering it and realizing that it's actually not all about getting rid of the agusala, because once the agusala have been got rid of, what is the situation then? Does it mean life is suddenly beautiful and nice? No, because there are still the realities of anicca, dukkha, anatta, and the conditioned nature of existence. So it doesn't achieve anything to have eradicated all the agusala. What is achieved when the path is developed is a better understanding of the true nature of the present moment. And what appears at the present moment is what can be the object of understanding, awareness and understanding, nothing else. It's not a case of looking for the agusala that isn't presenting at the present moment, because it's the understanding of any reality which is appearing now that is the development of the path.
And I have a question for Ms. Hoon and everyone here. If life is just in a moment now, how often does there have to be beginning? Is it just beginning like now? Or what about beginning tomorrow or next year or a moment later? Actually, there has to be beginning again and again and again and again. Even the arahats who had completely eradicated defilements continued to listen. There still is life at a moment. There still is the beginning to understand again and again and again. So there's always beginning again and again. So it's not just I who am a beginner who has to begin to listen. Beginning is not anyone, but there has to be the beginning to understand. Understanding has to develop, has to begin again and again and again, because there's always a new object, a new reality to be understood, not by trying to do anything with the mind, but just by letting understanding develop naturally. And for the understanding to develop, there has to be the careful considering about what is the reality now, attachment now, ignorance now, seeing now, hearing now, kindness now, boredom now. Whatever is conditioned in life is the object to be understood now, not by trying to do anything. So there's always a beginning. No difference whether it's the first time one's listening and coming here or one's come many, many times. Still there has to be the beginning again and again. And no I to begin, no I to understand.
Cảm ơn các thầy rất nhiều ạ. Nãy giờ thì con xin phép nói thêm là con nghe các thầy giảng thêm ấy, thì con hiểu rằng là mình đã hiểu đến đâu thì hiểu, nhưng cái việc mà mình nghe thường xuyên, tức là thường xuyên nghe, thường xuyên bắt đầu lại từ đầu là vô cùng quan trọng để mình hiểu được về sự thật.
Okay, so from what I could hear further from you, I understand that regardless of our level of understanding, the beginning again and listen very often and begin again is the most important thing.
And the reason it's so important is because so much ignorance, most of the day, waking up in ignorance, clinging, going to sleep in ignorance, more clinging. So all day. So that's why there has to be listening, considering, understanding more about what is true now, the seeing now at this moment, the attachment now at this moment, the boredom now at this moment, not the detail in the book. That we listen to the details about different citas and processes and so on, just for the purpose of understanding what is true now, not for the collecting of details and information like when we study another subject, but just for the purpose of understanding no I who is a beginner, no I that sees, no I that has to do something to the mind. So this is the beginning now. What occurred a moment ago, the clinging a moment ago, the hearing a moment ago, all gone, unimportant. If there was no understanding a moment ago, it's gone. It doesn't matter. What about now? What about now? Beginning again, exactly the same for everyone. Otherwise we think, oh, for me it's different because I'm a newcomer and so on and so on. This is just clinging to I. It's not understanding Dhamma now.
Cảm ơn thầy ạ.
Thank you very much.
So, may I begin to ask again? What is real now?
Cái bắt đầu là thực ạ. Tất cả đều phải là bắt đầu lại ạ.
Tức là câu hỏi là cái gì là thực ạ? Cái gì là thực hiện giờ ạ? Hiện giờ
cái nghe, cái thấy ạ.
Hearing, seeing.
Okay, what is it? What is seeing? What is hearing? This is the beginning to understand the teachings of the enlightenment. Seeing is not just now, years and years ago, and this life, uncountable seeings. Is there any understanding of seeing? What is it? It's there now, for sure. So what is seeing? Is real? What is it? Learn to understand the truth, the hidden truth. No understanding of what seeing is from birth and before that, and even right now. So it's time to begin to understand the truth of what is real right now. So what is real? Seeing is real because it sees now. But what is it? Who knows? It's there. Who knows? Not any time to think about it at all. even right now, if there's no hearing about seeing. And when there's no understanding of seeing, what is that? Is it real? Is it true? No understanding of seeing. It's a reality. It's real or not real. Begin to understand firmer and firmer about what is there, which is real as it is, as Buddha enlightened. Because no one answer now. What is seeing? Is it there? Is it real? What is it? The understanding is different from ignorance. So there can be moment of understanding to be truthful to the truth. There is seeing but no understanding of seeing. So what did Buddha say about what is real, whatever is real, each moment? What are they now? And this is the beginning to understand the virtues of the Buddha. So great, so high, uncomparable. Each word should be carefully considered until it's so very firm, confident of other words of what Buddha taught out of his enlightenment. So, there is seeing right now, it's real, it says, but what is it? It's there, what is it? Any answer, please, from the very beginning. What is it? It's real, the answer is, right? Or isn't it real? Real or not?
Câu hỏi cho chị đấy ạ.
Câu hỏi thì
Có là thực không ạ?
cái đấy có là thực ạ.
Yes, it's real.
It's real. Why is there real?
Dạ.
Why is there real?
Tại vì con cái dòng suy nghĩ của con đang giúp con nghe thầy nói và nhìn thấy thầy ạ. Thì con nghĩ đấy là thật. Đấy là thực.
Because the stream of thinking helped me to listen to you and to see you, so I think it's real.
What did Buddha say? It's there now. It's there, real. What is it? Is this the beginning to understand the truth? Understand the great wisdom of the Buddha? No one knows, no answer, but he thought about this. Very, very subtle. How long it takes to enlighten the truth of seeing. So its nature is so very subtle because even it's there right now, no one knows about it at all. Is that right? And when there's no answer, it means no understanding of it. So begin again to understand, attending to the nature of seeing right now. Because it's there right now to be studied, to be learned, to understand, to be understood as it is. As it is, enlightened by the Buddha, as it is. Is this the very beginning, the foundation of understanding what we heard about, whether it's true or not? When it's true, how subtle it is, because even it's there now, no one knows about it, as it is. only listen to the word of truth about whatever is there and begin to consider very carefully whether what is heard is true or not. It's there by conditions. It has a reason already. Before it arises, there is no seeing, for sure. Nobody can make it arise at all. Consider the truth. But it has a reason. Without the eye, without that impinge on the eye base, without other conditions, can there be just a moment of seeing right now? And these are the teachings of the Buddha, of the truth of whatever is there, hidden, eons, eons, thousands and thousands, uncountable. How long it's there, covered up by ignorance just right now. If there's no hearing about the nature of it, no one knows about seeing, which is gone as soon as it has risen, enlightened by the Buddha. The nature of what is there now appearing is conditioned, arising and falling away instantly. Consider carefully, little by little. Is it true? And that is the understanding of the truth by oneself, by hearing, considering, not just passed to other object, other matter, but even seeing right now, if it's not known. See, if it's not known, no way to understand who's the Buddha, because he taught about the path leading to realize the nature of seeing, which arises and falls away. Because before seeing, there's no seeing. And then there is hearing, not seeing anymore. How come? By conditions. And is it anyone sees? Because seeing gone. It cannot be I or anyone at all. Just a moment of seeing. Just a moment. Consider carefully. Not many moments now. Just a moment of seeing gone unknowingly. So the world is the world of ignorance, the world of atta, taking what appears as something from birth to death, from life to life. So understanding the truth of each word of the teachings of the Buddha, to understand the great wisdom, great virtues, great kindness, compassion for anyone who now sees, no understanding of seeing, on and on and on. If it's not carefully considered just one word about what is there right now. So can seeing be I, or the bird, or someone, or the fish, or the cat, or it is seeing only what is true? Seeing is conditioned to arise to see. That's why we use the word seeing. No one, not I, or anyone. Seeing is a reality. Why is a reality? It's there right now. Can anyone say that there's no seeing now? But who knows how come this moment to be just a moment, arising and falling away, never arise again in samsara. The conditions for a moment of seeing gone, all gone. So that cannot be the condition for seeing as that one again. Only one moment, one reality at a time, from life to life. And this is what Buddha taught about Dhamma. See, if we say, I listen to Dhamma, what Dhamma? Now, what Dhamma? I listen to Dhamma. What Dhamma now? because Dhamma means whatever is real. It has its own characteristic to be known that it's so real, because seeing says it's not hearing, it's not smelling, it's not thinking. So it's just a moment of a reality of life is there. So very, very short, very, very quickly arising and falling away instantly. Is it true? That's why it's so very, very difficult to begin to have firm confidence of the truth, which is now hidden, until it's opened up from considering the truth. And the truth can never be changed at all. Seeing just arise in a moment to see and then gone. Who can change it? It's gone. And that is the meaning, Dhamma, no one. So Dhamma is its reality, no matter what. Even there's no word for each one, but it's real. It doesn't matter what word is used for it, but the nature of it is there as just that which is real, conditioned to arise, and in false way. Why? A little more careful considering. There are conditions for whatever arises, just for whatever arises, no more. So as soon as it has risen, it's gone instantly, right now. And Buddha didn't teach just to think about it, to understand it, but to realize the nature of what he had realized and taught everyone, the way to get closer and closer to the truth, to realize the truth now. Seeing is not hearing, it's not hardness, it's not anything. It's just a moment of that which arises and see. Does anyone experience its nature now, seeing? To be truthful. Is there anyone? Not yet, but it's so true.
Không có kinh nghiệm.
That's why Buddha taught for 45 years about the truth of what is there so real at that very moment. Seeing now is real. He taught about that. Hearing now is real. He taught about whatever is real. Thinking is real. All are conditioned. And that's the meaning of anatta. So what did Buddha say? All dhammas are anatta. No matter what we heard from now and on, just lead to the understanding of all dhammas are anatta. To the moment of realizing all dhamma at that very moment of enlightenment, arising and falling away. Before the world of atta, something there can be revealed that actually it's the world of anatta, even right now. Otherwise, who's the Buddha? If no realization, no enlightened truth, which is hidden even right now. And this is the beginning to understand the subtlety of no matter what is there. Even what is seen, it's so subtle. It's not as it appears. Because close your eyes, all gone, how come? And just open your eyes, everything is there. How come? Instantly. It means that a moment of experiencing whatever is there is so very short, arising and falling away. Just one point or one dot, or one tiny reality which impinges on the eye, and the seeing just arises to see it. There can never be anything at all. No table, no hair, no nails, nothing. but the rapidity of the succession of what is there, arising and falling away, condition, the continuation of the arising and falling away appears as something. Even this, see, this is not the other. Just one dot, one moment, split seconds of split seconds moment of seeing. That's why who's the Buddha? The one who taught about the ultimate truth of what is there, to be known as it is. No one, no thing, only a moment of that which arises and falls away in split seconds can be realized before the wrong understanding, the idea of self or someone can be absolutely, ultimately eradicated, never to arise again at all. Is that the understanding of who's the Buddha? So the way to respect, to pay respect, is to understand his words. Because he didn't teach anyone to just remember the whole story of seeing as ayatana or Ariya Satya or Paticca Samuppada, but the nature of what is there now. No one at all. Only a moment of a reality which arises and see or experience whatever is there in life. So how long have we lived? Not just only this life. Non-stop, from moment to moment. Birth and death and birth and death and birth and death. Is that true? Everyone will die for sure, but no one conditioned reality. So born to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, to think, to be ignorant, or begin to be the wise one. Because understanding the truth of what is there right now as it is, what is seen is not the seeing, right? Each word should be studied so very carefully, because understanding is letting go, not want to experience it, not to be wise, not to be able to understand the word of the teaching, but to eradicate what is there, which keeps on arising and falling away from moment to moment, from life to life. Is this the point of listening to the enlightenment, to understand the ultimate truth of what is there right now, any moment?
Thưa Thầy là, vâng, nãy giờ con nghe thì con có đính chính lại một chút cái câu đầu tiên con có nói ấy, là từ trước nay thì con cũng có nghe Pháp, con có nghe của nhiều thầy, các thầy đi tu ạ. Nhưng mà khi đến đây, cái tâm thái của con là khi đến đây ấy, là con dừng lại tất cả những gì con đã biết và con trở về con số 0 và con nghe lại từ đầu. Tức là cái tâm thái của con là con đến đây, con dừng lại tất cả những gì con đã được nghe, đã được biết từ trước, và mình nghe lại từ đầu tất cả, gần như mình học lại, mình là một tờ giấy trắng, mình học lại từ đầu tất cả cái đó. Cho nên là nó có những cái câu, có thể có những câu nói hoặc có những câu hỏi hoặc có những câu trả lời nó chưa đúng ạ, chưa chuẩn ạ. Thì nãy giờ con có hiểu ra rồi.
She said that she'd like to rectify what she said before, that actually she learned the Dhamma, the Buddha's teaching before, but when she comes here, she is just left. She leaves aside all what she's learned before, to listen carefully. So sometimes because of her very new understanding and very not yet stable understanding, so her answer are not correct. So, but she just tried to learn from the very beginning, from zero.
We appreciate your good attitude and careful listening, and it's the same for everyone. We have to forget so many ideas we've been taught before, leave it aside, and listen afresh to the truth about life now as taught by the Buddha. And I have a question for you. So we've been talking a lot about seeing now. So what is seen now? What does the seeing see now?
Ngay hiện tại bây giờ thì vẫn chỉ là cái nghe và cái thấy thôi ạ. Tức là cái tâm suy nghĩ nó vẫn đưa con về là lắng nghe và lắng nghe.
Tức là câu hỏi là vừa nãy mình đã nói về cái nghe, về cái thấy rồi đúng không ạ? Bây giờ là cái được thấy là cái gì? Cái được nghe là cái gì? Cái gì được thấy, cái gì được nghe? Cái câu hỏi là như vậy.
Ngay hiện tại bây giờ.
Vâng.
Dạ. Ngay hiện tại bây giờ thì con đang được thấy các thầy và được nghe các thầy giảng về sự thật.
Right now I see you and I hear you're teaching about the truth.
Why there has to be the beginning again and again, because this is the usual way of thinking. I see you and I hear the teachings. But is it I that sees, or is it the seeing, the citta, which sees now?
Nó chỉ là cái tâm thấy thôi ạ, chứ không có cái tôi ở đây ạ.
It's just the citta that sees or hears,
The citta
no I.
Right, no I to see, no I to hear, no I to do anything. Just the citta, the seeing arises, sees its object and falls away. So no I at all. All dhammas are anatta, as Ajahn was stressing. And what is seen? We think I see you, I see a table, I see flowers. But this is thinking about what is seen. What is actually seen now before there is thinking about the people in the room, the flowers, the table, and so on.
Thực chất của cái thấy bây giờ.
Cái được thấy ạ.
This is the point to consider very carefully, because we live in a world of dreams and ideas and stories and concepts. Oh, I can see the flowers and some are pink and some are beige, and I can see the different people called this and this. But this is all the world of thinking because of memory. There's memory of each object that's seen. There's memory of each sound heard. And because of the memory of so many objects that have been seen, there is the idea, I see you, I see the flowers. But actually, it's just what is visible that is seen, just color that is seen. And so quickly thinking about what has been seen and the idea of you and me and other people. If there is no thinking, can seeing see you? Or seeing just sees what is visible?
Chắc chắn là cái suy nghĩ nó giúp mình.
Certainly thinking helps. Thinking helps us.
Without thinking, no ideas of people and things. So seeing just sees what is visible and then gone. No idea, no thinking at that moment. And as Ajahn said, no matter whether we're talking about the seeing now, the seeing of the elephant, the seeing of the insect, it's just seeing, just the citta, the reality which arises because of conditions, sees what is visible and falls away. No cat, no dog, no flowers, no anyone, just what is visible and then gone. Afterwards, thinking about colors, shapes, forms, people in the room, and so on. So the world is not as we think it is. I see you, I see flowers. That is the world of thinking about different ideas. What does hearing hear now?
Cái nghe thì hiện giờ thì cũng là nghe các thầy đang giảng pháp thôi ạ, nhưng thực tế cái nghe đấy cũng là do cái suy nghĩ đưa mình đến cái nghe.
She said that hearing hears the teaching about the Dhamma, but it is the thinking that leads to the hearing.
The hearing just hears the sound, and it's the hearing of the sound that leads to the thinking about the discussion and someone talking and the different words and the meanings. But the hearing, not I that hears, the hearing arises, just hears sound, gone. Many moments of hearing many different sounds, and the thinking in between that thinks about loud sound, soft sound, sound of a voice, words, meanings, ideas, and so on. But hearing now just hears sound and then gone. If there was no sound now and no ear sense, there would be no hearing. So hearing arises because the sound has impinged on the ear sense and conditions the hearing at this very moment. But it's just hearing, the citta that hears for a moment and is gone, just sound that is heard, gone. But there is thinking about different sounds, different meanings. So life at a moment is very brief, just different dhammas arising and falling away by different conditions. No I, no you, no anyone to be found. I think you should sit down. You've been standing so long.
Lúc nào chị đứng, chị hỏi thì chị đứng, còn không chị ngồi xuống, không phải đứng suốt vậy. Dạ, ngồi nghe.
Tại vì là cái sự đứng lên, cái sự tập trung nó cao hơn.
Dạ. Chị có thêm câu hỏi nào nữa không? Hay là sẽ để cho một đạo hữu nào khác?
Dạ. Để cho đạo hữu khác đấy ạ. Em muốn lắng nghe thêm.
Dạ, A Chan có thể muốn nói thêm ạ.
Where are we now? Where are we now?
Sao mỗi lần nghe A Chan hỏi em căng thẳng kinh khủng luôn.
Remember, all are dhammas. It means that how much understanding of Dhamma is. Where are we now?
She said whenever she is asked a question by a Chan, she got nervous. Cannot find the answer.
That's why each word should be carefully considered. It's so true, so real, but no understanding of the truth. So any answer, where are we now?
You can say in the world of nervousness, it's okay.
Any answer? Where are we?
Chị có thể trả lời hoặc bất cứ ai cũng có thể trả lời ạ. Bây giờ chúng ta đang ở đâu ạ?
Is seeing now in Hanoi? See, further question. Is seeing now in Hanoi?
Có ai muốn trả lời? Chị đang chưa chắc chắn, có ai muốn trả lời thử không ạ?
Or at moment of seeing, there is no Hanoi. See,
Có ai chuyển mic cho cô ở đằng
Có
sau?
chứ ạ. Khoảnh khắc thấy có, mình biết mình đang ở Hà Nội chứ ạ.
At the moment of seeing, we know that we are in Hanoi.
not at moment of seeing.
Có phải ở khoảnh khắc thấy không? Khoảnh khắc thấy có thể biết là đang ở Hà Nội không?
If there is no thinking about Hanoi, is there any Hanoi?
Cũng đều là do lộ ý đưa ra, đúng không ạ?
Are we now in Bangkok? The answer is very quick. What is the difference between seeing and we take it in Hanoi and seeing we take it for in Bangkok? But seeing is just seeing, right? No matter where, anywhere in the world, this world or any world, seeing cannot be changed at all. It is just seeing. And that which is seen cannot be anything at all. That's why I learn to understand the word conventional world and the word of Dhamma, the ultimate Dhamma. So what is the real truth? We are learning to understand the truth, so we have to know what is the real truth. No place, no one, no thing at all. The world of anatta. Begin to understand the difference between the world of anatta and the world of atta. Otherwise, how can right understanding of the ultimate truth will be developed? And what is the path or the way to realize the truth? See? Not just follow the word, but each word should be carefully thought about the truth, the ultimate truth. Without the ultimate truth, there can never be anything at all. Never be anything at all appearing right now. That's why learn to understand the nature, the characteristic of reality. To know the word, it does mean just the meaning of it, but the nature of what it represents. For example, the truth. See, everyone understands conventionally what is it. But the nature of the truth is there to be known, not just to remember that it's true. Seeing is real. We use the word seeing is real, but seeing is real when? Now it's real, only at moment of seeing. That's why each word should be a little more careful considering to get close to the truth. And at any moment of understanding the truth of what is there now is the path, no other path. Beginning to understand the destination, the point of get rid or eradicate the idea of self completely, ultimately, because in truth, nothing can be taken for self or anyone at all, because it just arises and falls away instantly right now. Can it be known? Can it be realized? Each word of the Buddha taught about the truth. What is experienced is only by way of nimitta, not just a single moment at all. Because it's so fast, just arise and fall away, how can it be experienced? But now, many moments of seeing, the nimitta, the sign of seeing, which doesn't fall away at all, but in truth, seeing now, each moment, instantly arises and falls away. That's why learn to understand the wisdom, the great wisdom of the enlightened one. To understand what he taught is so real, but it's so very subtle. without careful considering. We just know one, no self, it's just a reality. But the nature of it has to be realized stage by stage, from hearing, listening carefully, consider carefully, until there can be a moment of direct understanding of what is there, not just thinking about it or consider about it, but right understanding is there, different degrees from hearing, considering, but it develops or cultivated moment to moment to realize the truth of just one characteristic of a reality. Is it true? It's not true just now. On and on and on. Nobody can change its truth at all. Before seeing, there's no seeing. That's why we learn what is before seeing and what is after seeing. When we talk about we were born to die, right? Or not right? Everyone's born to die. But before death, born to see, born to hear, just very rapidly in a moment and then gone, unknowingly. So what is meant by death? Three meanings of death. Birth and death. A cat born and die. A cat die. But in truth, no one, no cat, no dog at all. Without the rupa, can you say what seeing, what sees? No one. Not a cat, not a dog, not a bird. Because seeing is just seeing. It dies instantly when it has reason. Momentarily, death, each moment. So the moment of death, the conventional death, is exactly talk about the period of being a being and then die. No more than being at all by conditions, the end of karma. And now the death, we say someone born and die, but momentarily death is every moment. No fear, right? No, because it's not known, but it's there, never to arise again. So the way Dhamma is cannot be changed at all, depending on understanding. When there's no understanding of the ultimate truth of the reality right now, it's taken for something all the time. And in truth, what is meant by enlightenment, not just the first round of Ariya Satya, just listen to what Buddha said about dukkha and so on, and the path, the fourth Ariya Satya, it's right now unknown. That's why someone just goes somewhere and try to do something, no understanding of what's there now. So it's not the path leading to understand the truth of any moment by conditions. Because all are dhammas, what arises falls away, anatta. Are we talking about Dhamma?
Yes, you are.
Little by little, again and again and again.
Anh có câu hỏi à? Bây giờ là vừa mới hết giờ. Chiều nay anh tiếp tục đúng không ạ? Okay, so there's a question from one friend, but I think because it's time now, so we continue this afternoon. He's coming this afternoon. So we will meet downstairs.